So one of the biggest things that I looked at in chapter two, which my subject was communicating across diversity, is understanding different backgrounds can be pretty tough. There's language barriers, there's cultural barriers, ethnicity, gender. There's a bunch of different things that people aren't aware of, and when they get into certain situations, they don't know how to communicate properly, and that can really be hindering into trying to generate a business relationship or a personal relationship. So there's three ways to really enhance the intercultural competency, and it's improving knowledge, improving the attitude, and improving the behavior. And doing those three things can really benefit yourself and also them, because it'll make it easier for them to want to listen to you and create a relationship with you. um, Now, there's a couple different subtopics that I really wanted to touch base on, and the first one is becoming culturally literate, and that really has to do with being aware of issues caused by lack of knowledge. Because let's be honest, a lot of people aren't really aware of a lot of the situations that they bring upon themselves. It's not malice that's causing it. It's people just not knowing. And the big thing is not to make assumptions with people, because making assumptions can really cause a lot of issues. You never know going into a situation if you don't know their background. So if you make an assumption, it can, you might be right, but that's taking a risk that's really not worth it when trying to, generate a relationship. You got to just keep an open mind. And an example of that the book provided was how somebody wrote a Korean person's name in red pen when trying to take down notes when they were speaking. And in Korean culture, apparently red pen means writing someone's name about death. And that person didn't know, and it wasn't his fault. I mean, it is, but he wasn't educated, and that ended up going against him. And you just it's on the the person presenting or speaking to be aware of the person that they're speaking to. So another thing that you have to consider is developing constructive attitudes. So like cultural diversity is it's a good thing. Being able to be different is part of being human, and people being able to interact with one another. So it's going to be there. You got to embrace it. So you got to view diversity as an option. um, it's not something you should feel like forced or upset about. It's a good thing. It's part of building relationships, is meeting different people from different backgrounds. So a word that I'm going to use is ethnocentrism, and you're supposed to avoid this, but um, you know, ethnocentrism means to only see things through your perspective, and block out trying to see things through anybody else's perspective. So you got to see things through their eyes, not only yours, because that would just be selfish. The final thing I want to touch base on is adapting your behavior. Don't be condescending about differences. Like, don't take it as a bad thing. And if you try too little to acknowledge it or try too hard, it's noticeable. Like, I've been around people who, they don't know how to talk to certain people who, like, struggle to speak English, and they make it very, very easy, to notice that, they're acting differently, or they're trying to, make up for not being able to speak with them 100%. So, and it really shows, through body language or tone or anything. So, you know, the biggest thing you can do is try and create dialogue, be personable with the person. And this goes for all conversations, whether, you struggle to talk to them or not, you know, being easy to talk to goes a long way. So, there's a lot of different things you can do to make your conversations and create good relationships, but those are just, a couple of things that the chapter educated me on.